to welcome the distinguished guests here for this very noble function of the book release on dialogue and democracy. Gayatri Vidya Parishad started the Center for Policy Studies in 1995, and my teacher and mentor, Professor A. Prasanna Kumar, has been in charge of this center for the past 20 years, which I was very closely associated with in all its academic activities and intellectual activities. And I deem it an honor to invite first Shri A.S.N. Prasad, President, Gayatri Vidya Parishad, and Chairman for Center for Policy Studies, to come out to the dais. I invite our chief guest of today's morning function, Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation, Government of India, Shri P. Ashok Gajapati Raju Garu, to come out to the dais. Vice Admiral Satish Soni, Flag Officer, Commanding in Chief, to come out to the dais, please. Now I invite Honorable Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, Professor G.S.N. Raju, to come out to the dais. I invite Professor Prasanna Kumar, Director, Center for Policy Studies, and Professor Somaraj Garu, the Gayatri Vidya Parishad, to come out to the dais, please. Okay, please.
President of Gayatri Vidya Parishad and Chairman, Center for Policy Studies, Shri A.S.N. Prasad Garu, our Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation and esteemed well-wisher and friend, Shri Ashok Gajapati Raju Garu, Vice Admiral Satish Soni ji, respected Vice Chancellor, Professor G.S.N. Raju, Professor Somaraju, very distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. We started exactly on time at 10 o'clock, because the Minister is not just punctual, but is often embarrassingly punctual, in the sense that he comes before time. For the book release function, I invited him when he was President of Andhra Cricket Association at Hyderabad. We slated the function at 2:30, and at 2:10 he was present. And therefore, I am very wary about the invitation process and the way we receive him. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your time. We start off the function with a humble expression of our gratitude to you and the distinguished members on the dais. The collector's PA has just called me up and said he is on way. Probably some other important engagements must have come in the way, but he'll be arriving sooner than later. Now, first of all, the oldest young man of the city, just 90, but growing stronger by the day, Sri C.S. Rao Garu, will present a bouquet on behalf of all of us to our President, Sri A.S.N. Prasad Garu. Then it is our privilege to welcome you, sirs, with a shawl and a bouquet. We say just with flowers, nothing more than that. And I request Professor Somaraju and the distinguished members in the dais to join in the presentation of a shawl. Veteran Gandhian and one of the most eminent citizens of Visakhapatnam, Sri K. Shastri, will present a bouquet.
ఎవరైనా మర్చిపోగలుగుతారా?
I request, after the shawl is offered, former Vice Chancellor Professor Balamohan Das to honor Vice Admiral Satish Soni with a bouquet. After the shawl is offered. There is no person who is not proud of Andhra University. The universities that have come up, including Sri Venkateswara University and Acharya Nagarjuna University, are tributaries of Andhra University. We are honored by the presence of former Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, a very esteemed friend, presently Chancellor of Geetham University, formerly President of Indian Philosophical Research Council, Professor Ramakrishna Rao, to honor Professor Jason Razu and salute our alma mater. With a bouquet, sir. With a bouquet. This function is unique for a variety of reasons, sir. Reason number one, the first volume was released on the 6th of October, Dialogue in Democracy, with a benedictory message by Sri Sivananda Murthy Garu. Sri Sivananda Murthy Garu at the time very prophetically said that your voice must be heard in Delhi. And since Delhi is, we welcome the collector, Sri Yuvraj. It is customary to honor our distinguished guests. The backbone of Vizag higher educational system, very quiet, soft-spoken, one of the finest gentlemen I have seen in life, Sri Sitaramaya Garu, accompanied by Sri T.S. Verma, source of strength to me, will offer a bouquet to the district collector. Sri T.S. Verma has been a source of strength to us. We have actually planned Tirupati Raju Memorial Lecture, his distinguished father, and Sri Tirupati Raju Memorial Lecture will be held with Professor Chandrasekhar Rao speaking on Indian polity. That will be later. It was actually scheduled for today, but for reasons that need not be stated here, he could not make it. And so that will be one of the important functions to follow. So this function is unique for several reasons. Reason number one, Sri Ashok Gajapati Garu, your presence. Not just a civil aviation minister, but as a legatee and a torchbearer of a culture. When 60 years ago we stepped into the university as literally mavericks, into the great temple of learning that was nurtured by C.R. Reddy and Radhakrishnan. A leader, it is said, is one who influences a generation. The university youth were greatly influenced by your illustrious father, Sri P.V.G. Razu Garu. There was a socialist party on the campus, and everybody was a socialist. Just as in Delhi, everybody, for the sake of credibility, is a leftist, every academic. Those days, we were proud to be associated with your father, his work, his nobility, and Sri P.V.G. Razu Garu cast an influence on a generation, tremendous influence. It was a source of great inspiration to all of us. You were very young at the time. That was 60 years ago. Actually, without invitation, your brother graciously attended one of our meetings because an important speaker was speaking here. We are very grateful to your culture. You will allow me to reveal a secret. That secret was, when we were together at cricket matches, when you released my cricket book, I said in all earnestness that what your father missed, you should not miss, being the Chief Minister. I did not realize that then at the time that there would be one more letter added to CM. You are CAM now, Civil Aviation Minister. And the way you have served the people of Andhra, in the midst of chaotic politics, the way you have upheld noble ideals and dignity, the essence of democracy, I am very happy that you have agreed to be here. So when Sri Sivanandamurthy Garu said that your voice must be heard in Delhi, otherwise Centre for Policy Studies will not be of any use, we indeed considered it a blessing, because we got from then on letters from people who mattered in Delhi. Shri Natwar Singh, former External Affairs Minister, when I asked him for his message, he sent his book, Walking with the Lions, a beautiful book, one of the best books in the recent past. He just sent it. In that book, he famously said, compared Nehru and PV, how PV became Prime Minister is one of the essays. He said, PV smiled without a smile. PV had temperament, Nehru had temper. That's what he said. And he said one of the most scholarly Prime Ministers of India was PV Narasimha Rao, according to Sri Natwar Singh. The same PV Narasimha Rao Garu was kind enough to grace the occasion when we held a book release function. He honored us. He honored Sarveshwar Rao Garu. He honored founder Shankar Rao Garu. He spoke for 45 minutes brilliantly on women's empowerment. That was after he ceased to be the Prime Minister. And so when Sri Karan Singh was approached, he gave a message appreciating the work being done by the centre, and he permitted us to use his recent article, Secularism, a New Approach. It's a very interesting article. So though we did not go to Delhi to make noise, Delhi happened to, some of them in Delhi at least, happened to hear us. We're a very small organization. Sir, we don't want to call it a think tank. Because when you call it a think tank, the thinking becomes less and the tank becomes more. And therefore, we just simply call it a forum, very humble forum, not funded by the government, not funded by any private agency, no subscription collected, and all the publications issued free of cost, except for half a dozen advertisements a year to enable us to post the bulletin. Ironically, sir, in India, the postal charges are higher than the publication charges. Therefore, for posting this bulletin, we are taking some advertisements. And why dialogue in democracy? That's the question. Dialogue today is almost extinct. At home, everybody is talking, but not to wife, not to children, but over cell phone. So dialogue is extinct. Dialogue is necessary for democracy. Dialogue is necessary for human relationships. Dialogue is necessary for civil society. So the first issue when it was released, what Sivanandamurthy Garu said in his benedictory message came true. And another interesting coincidence is, for all the three releases, the second issue was released by another fine gentleman, Dr. M. Pallamraj Garu, on the 29th of June 2012, when Vice Admiral Anil Chopra came on his own to be here. We are very fortunate that the CNC Vice Admiral Satish Soni is here today, because the Centre for Policy Studies and the Eastern Naval Command, especially the Maritime Foundation, have been functioning in tandem to strengthen civil society as a catalyst. You will be happy to know that in 2012, for the first time, thanks to Vice Admiral Anup Singh, the Foreign Secretary, the Defense Secretary, the advisor to the Prime Minister, and all the top brass in the Navy and the Army, they participated in a seminar, Sino-Indian Relations, at Samudrika in Eastern Naval Command. And Vice Admiral Anup Singh very thoughtfully arranged a meeting at Taj Coromandel for the benefit of the people of Visakhapatnam. Therefore, Center for Policy Studies is not a big thing at all. It's a very small, humble organization trying to bridge the gap between the government. The government is run by people. Vote is necessary for power, but public voice is necessary for good governance, sir. You will agree with me. And that public voice must be articulated by private fora. The forum may be a marketplace in ancient Athens, as Pericles said. The forum may be a small group in Delhi. In Delhi, there is a very interesting group by very eminent people. It is launched. It is called Professionals for People. Soli Sorabji, Nariman, and others are members of it. This is a small forum where we are publishing and distributing all these things free of cost, in the hope that civil society will be strengthened and democratic governance. I repeat, the difference between government and governance, 20 years ago, governance was not used. Today, governance is used. The difference between government and governance is, government is the goal of democracy. Good governance is the goal of constitutional liberalism. When the common man can walk holding his head high, when the common man is not troubled by the government, by the bureaucracy or by the political leadership, that is a good democracy. Ashok Gajpati Raj Garu, you will agree with me that these small fora, in every town, Mark Tully very brilliantly said, don't build big cities. Don't make Vizag a Singapore. He did not say that, but I say it. Make Vizag a good city. Make Anakapalli and Vijayanaram prominent towns. The small towns must grow. Small fora must grow. People must reflect. People must think. People must articulate. People must protest. Democracy depends on three: dialogue, discourse, and dissent. We have got the right to dissent. We have got the right to disagree with the government. And the government has got the responsibility to hear us, to care for us. That is why during the last 20 years, Center for Policy Studies has been able to organize more than 200 meetings. Has been able to organize 113th issue of the bulletin was released last month. 113th issue. Last year, the 100th issue of the bulletin was released. All this is being done thanks to the Gayatri Vidya Parishad. Mr. Somraju is here. Thanks to all of you for being here on a hot midsummer. I don't want to call it midsummer madness, but on a hot midsummer May, you are all here. I am grateful to everyone. I am grateful to the public for the support that is given. Finally, one last word, and I shall sign off. The second issue was released, and the third issue is being released by Shri Ashok Gajpati Raj Garu, in the hope that little drops of water make the mighty ocean. Similarly, we would like to interact with the Navy. We would like to interact with the think tanks in Navy. We would like to strengthen civil society. And I request every one of you to kindly participate in the meetings of the Center for Policy Studies and give us the muscle and the energy that are so necessary for making it a vibrant forum. I once again thank the Honorable Minister for his gracious presence. I thank Sri S.N. Prasad Garu for presiding over the function. I thank Admiral Soni, Professor Jason Razu, and Dr. Yuvraj for their time here. We can assure you, as per the Minister's directive or wish, it will be closed by 11 sharp, if not earlier. Now I request Sri A.S.N. Prasad Garu to say a few words and arrange for the book release.
Sri Ashok Gajpati Raj Garu, Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation and Chief Guest of this function, Vice Admiral Satish Govardhan Soni, Professor J.S.N. Razu, Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, Dr. Yuvraj, Collector, Visakhapatnam, members of Gayatri Vidya Parishad, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it as an honor to welcome you all to this important occasion when Dialogue on Democracy is being released by the Honorable Minister. I am particularly pleased that the volume is dedicated to the memory of late Sri D. Subbarao Garu, with whom I had a long association in Lions Club and various other organizations like Lions Cancer Hospital, Lions School for the Deaf, etc. As Governor of Lions International, Chairman, Bar Council of India for 2 terms, Chairman, Urban Development Authority and Mayor of Visakhapatnam, and as President of Andhra Cricket Association, Sri Subbarao put Visakhapatnam on the international map with his outstanding service. We in the Gayatri Vidya Parishad and Center for Policy Studies owe depth of gratitude to Sri Subbarao Garu, and I am sure you all join me in paying homage to this memory. I congratulate Center for Policy Studies on bringing out regularly its bi-monthly bulletin, the 100th volume of which was released last year, and several prestigious publications which have drawn the appreciation of many, including former Vice President and Prime Ministers of our country. As a forum for promoting healthy debate and discussion on ideas, policies and issues, Center for Policy Studies has organized more than 200 meetings and seminars during the last 20 years. I am sure this volume containing articles by eminent persons will be received with keen interest and warmth. I welcome you all once again and thank you most sincerely for your kind presence this morning. Thank you.
Before the President takes his seat, one more point I missed out. The 3 dedications. First to Sarveswara Garu, who was a doyen among teachers, founder President of Gayatri Vidya Parishad, a Gandhian, who led a very austere life, one of the noted economists. The second was dedicated to one of our patrons and one of my dearest friends, Dr. Abid Hussain. That was in June 2012. He sat, in fact, one day, he was such a humorous man, it will take 2 hours for me to narrate his jokes, but one joke, it's not a joke, one fact is, you are the director of this. He said, yes, sir. Therefore, I would like to come in take your seat. Sir, you are too big for this seat. No, I want the seat to become big. Therefore, I came and sat in 1996. Therefore, Dr. Abid Hussain, a man of great ideals and values, the second was dedicated. The third is being dedicated to Sri D.V. Subbarao, one of the finest gentlemen of whom the whole Vizag was proud. His exit on December 20th last year is a void, leaves a void that is very hard to fill. Therefore, the volume reflects to some extent the values and the ideals upheld by these 3 great gentlemen. Now, Honorable Minister will release the book.
Amongst all of you today, I don't know which order to begin with. Let us put the armed forces first. Their leader Satish Soniji. Academicians appear to be the biggest success and failure in our country. Both. So, Professor G.S.N. Raju, G.S.N. Prasad is the President of Gayatri Vidya Parishad, that to the Center of Policy Studies. Then Yuvraj seems to be our leader of the district administration which serves both the government of India and the state government. And as government of India or state governments in the past, hopefully not in the future and present, do have hidden agendas, we hope that district administrations will come out of the hidden agendas and wholeheartedly support the published agendas. Because this has been a big bane everywhere in our country. I hope I have not missed out anyone. Professor Somraju. Of course, more than the professors, we have distinguished people are in front of us. People have fought for freedom.
You may also kindly mention my name.
Who have fought for freedom. And sometimes we wonder whether this freedom that we have achieved is really going in the right direction. What is our contribution to sustaining this spirit? This question comes to mind. I'm happy that Prasanna Kumar has been the main reason why I am here today. He came to the airport asked me to be here, and how can you say no to Prasanna Kumar? My late father had some idiosyncrasies which has passed on to my generation. He always believed in being in time. So he taught us that other people's time is valuable to them. Keep them waiting is a wrong concept. So wherever you are, attempt to be on time. I might not have learnt a lot of things from him, but this was one thing that I learned, that I try to analyze what I do with my time, and if I am in 90% places on time, I think it's a good thing. If I can be in time only for a cricket match or a cinema or while catching a flight or a train, that doesn't speak much. Of course, looking around here, I find that most of us are white-haired or no hair. I think if we are able to get our black-haired citizens into this room, I think we will achieve much. I don't mean the Godrej technology. Genuine black hair. They are our future. And somehow I get the feeling that we have lost sight of them. We need to have a look at that, otherwise all this dialogue for democracy is a very big this thing. Coming for a country where the Lok Sabha went into pepper sprays, I think this is and reflecting, thinking. Fortunately for us, we've got a government which runs the Lok Sabha now. So we worked long hours, disrupted a few hours, what we have delivered is probably for the future to take note of. But a genuine attempt is being made to run these institutions. The father of our nation, Gandhiji, his name is utilized everywhere. Right from his 126th birth anniversary, where this forum was founded, to our Swachh Bharat. We are thinking that on the 150th year of of Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary, India will become we are hoping, working, that India will become a sanitary conscious country. Now, if we have to achieve simple things like that, we need everybody's cooperation. Recently, I was in Kanyakumari, where one Sri M started a Padayatra for communal harmony, peace and harmony throughout the country. We are not used to or new to Padayatras. We have seen political leaders also walking around our country. And he started from Kanyakumari and is expected to reach Srinagar. There was a gentleman who came there, who runs an organization called Shulabh. I think a lot of us, many people of us have heard about Shulabh. And he had an interesting way of putting it, that they are an organization which builds public toilets, which are used by all religions, all communities, in peace and harmony, and no communal rioting or discord has ever started from a public toilet. So this was the perception of that gentleman. Is it because we do not use public toilets that we have so much of discord, disharmony among us? Is it because we have the animal instinct in us? We are not able to rise as high-thinking human beings? After all, there must be very few countries in the world after so many years after independence who are totally sanitary unconscious. Elementary things like this, we have somehow lost in our journey. There are certain things that we have not lost sight of, but certain things we have lost sight of. Probably we need to come back to it. Father of the nation was very conscious about sanitation. And if we are highly educated and unsanitary, is it not a contradiction of sorts? So I guess we will have to take steps in that direction. These parts we have had a very interesting history. During the French domination, they tried to weaken these parts. They had a war which is popularly called Bobli Yuddham. They resulted in weakening these parts. And 1794 was the year where the Padmanabh battle took place. And these things passed on to these territories, passed on to the British. The French weakened us, the British gained. We gained our independence. And what is the definition we are giving to it? Today's book that I have released is in honor of Subbarao ji, an odd man out in politics. People used to call him an odd man, they used to call me also an odd man out. So if there is anything in common as that claim. He of course was a brilliant advocate and a person much loved by a lot of people. A person who did his best and contributed to his fellow citizens in this part of our country. No doubt he did a short stint as a mayor and mundane things which most of us are involved in, like reading files and not books. So these are the type of activity, of course, every politician gets involved in. But how do we give on to ourselves the capacity to analyze, the capacity to think, the capacity to act? Democracy is a lovely term. And to translate that idea into reality, what should be our individual role? What should be our collective role? I guess we have to think about all this. Dialogue is, of course, the first step. Whether you agree with an idea, disagree with it, dialogue is important. Then I guess we have to analyze what it is. Each of us will definitely have our own approaches. To agree to disagree is also important. We agree to disagree on so many things. We agree to agree on so many things. I don't think there's a wife or husband who agree from day one of their getting united to the day they reach their grave on everything. They'll agree, they will disagree. They will agree to disagree. And laws don't make any sense. There's no law of how a couple ought to live. There's a law on divorce, all right. Like if you want to separate, how to separate, there are laws, but how to live together depends on respect, love. We need to respect one another. We need to love one another. Above all, we need to love our great country. If we don't do that, I think we'll be doing our country a great disservice. We have certain shortcomings among us. Individually, we think well, high, and second to none in the world in as far as thought is concerned. The weakness becomes apparent when we try to work because we are unable to work as a team. Where India has worked as a team, it has always delivered. Take the recent Yemen evacuation. I think for the first time in my hearing, in my knowledge, other countries, about 25 countries had requested India to help in evacuation of their citizens. We were able to work as a team. It is only teams that can deliver. So let us learn to work as a team. Let us learn to kind of have a dialogue, argue our head outs, need not see the discussions that come on TV nowadays, very interesting, shouting matches. I think our legislators die in or pale in comparison to the shouting matches we hear there. So that's all okay. But let us not lose sight, work as a team. We have a resplendent heritage. Let us cherish that heritage. But let us not live in the past. Because living in the past also is a negative, has a negative value. Let us work now hard. Let us give the hardly working scenario up and let us go ahead and build our country for the future. None of us are going to be remembered. If you have to be remembered as an individual, you have to reach the level of Gautam Buddha or Jesus Christ or some person like that who doesn't need a public relations officer to constantly remind people that you existed. All of us are remembered for some time for the deeds we do, remembered for some time because we have found a place in somebody's heart. But even that person is a mortal. So none of us are immortals. And I doubt whether any of us, though I hope India continues to produce Gautam Buddhas, Mahatma Gandhis, and people of that stature who will remain for all time. But I know for sure that none of us will be reaching that level. But we all have a role. Let us define that role to ourselves. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Professor Raju, eminent personalities on the dais, senior citizens and eminent citizens of Vizag, Professor Prasanna Kumar. Well, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak to you. Well, I am personally new to Vizag, though the Navy has had enormous presence in this beautiful and important city. The Navy came here in 1939 as a small outpost at the beginning of the Second World War, and slowly we have grown and we have expanded with the city. Today, the Eastern Naval Command is headquartered in Visakhapatnam, and we are involved in everything that a city does, as was eminently demonstrated during the recent situation arising out of Hudhud. And I can assure you that the Indian Navy will continue to stand by the citizens of Visakhapatnam always and everywhere. I would also like to take this opportunity to inform the eminent citizens that we are hosting an international fleet review in February 2016. This is the second international fleet review that is being hosted by the Navy. The first one was in 2000 in Mumbai, and we hope to have up to 30 foreign ships about 40 to 50 Indian warships, sailboats, which will greet our President at Anchorage on the 6th of February. We are also organizing seminars, a city parade, an operational demo to flag the contributions of the city of Visakhapatnam to the development of maritime capabilities on the eastern seaboard. I have been associated with Professor Prasanna Kumar for a very short while, and we met about 6 to 7 months back when he apprised me of the enormous work that the Center of Policy Studies does, and he also gifted me the first 2 publications of this book. And I must say that I was so impressed by the work that you do, and coming from a small city as Visakhapatnam, I think it is an enormous contribution. And though you don't call yourselves a think tank, I think you are much more than that. I wish you success in your deliberations. I compliment you for taking out this book, and I am so grateful, so impressed and so happy that the person of the stature of our Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation could find time to come to Visakhapatnam and release this book. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, Sri Ashok Gajpati Garu, Sri Prasad Garu, President of the function, Admiral Soni, Dr. Yuvraj Garu, Professor Somaraj Garu, Professor Prasanna Kumar, Professor Ramakrishna Rao, Chancellor Kirtam, former Vice Chancellor of the University, C.S. Rao Garu, Professor Balmohan Garu, eminent personalities who are sitting opposite to the dais. Good morning, all of you. First of all, I thank Professor Prasanna Kumar for inviting me to associate this very important book releasing function. In fact, he told me a couple of weeks back to see that I should be here. The third series book, Dialogue and Democracy, is a very, very important magazine he could bring out. And there are more than 31 published papers with great people. I'm astonished to see that how he could manage to contact such great persons to bring out so beautiful articles. I'm really thrilled to see that. Everybody knows that India is one of the greatest democracies. To make it very successful, you need to have a dialogue. And these days, a dialogue can be in person or through wireless. We always now believe that just communicate, don't commute, thinking that commuting is waste of time. I'm very happy a lot of eminent people are here, and our Honorable Minister could make it convenient to come over here from Delhi and release the function. I really congratulate President Prasanna Kumar and his team, and also Center for Policy Studies to do great work to see that the appropriate policies are brought out so that the governance can be strengthened. I'm very happy he has given me just 2 minutes time. I thank him for giving me an opportunity to speak a few words to you. I wish him good luck. Thank you.
Yuvraj Garu, you will kindly, on behalf of the district and the city.
Good morning to all of you. సభాధ్యక్షుడు చైర్మన్ సెంటర్ ఫర్ పాలసీ స్టడీస్ ప్రసాద్ గారికి, ముఖ్య అతిథి సివిల్ ఏవియేషన్ మినిస్టర్ శ్రీ అశోక్ గజపతిరాజు గారికి, ఫ్లాగ్ ఆఫీసర్ మిస్టర్ సతీష్ గారికి, ప్రొఫెసర్ రాజు వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ గారికి, ప్రొఫెసర్ సోమయాజుల్ గారికి, ప్రసన్న కుమార్ గారికి అందరికీ నమస్కారాలు. I fully agree with what our chief guest has told, that this hall has to be filled with more and more of black-haired young individuals, because democracy or any other thing to be passed on to the coming generations, any point of any topic which is relevant to the mankind today, it has to be a mixture of a population who can think, debate, and can form an opinion. So I respect the eminent personalities available here, because I know personally some of them here. I have met them, most of the people here available. The crux is that we have to have a mixture, because now I'm seeing some people, young people coming into the hall, but the dialogue should be a continuous process, and we should involve more and more young individuals. And I am associated with Mr. Prasanna Kumar for quite long, since my tenure in UDA. He is the honorable member and our team member in the Visaga Valley School also. So we are trying to do some good thing to the school. So I really thank him for giving me the opportunity to come and be here among the eminent personalities of the Vizag district. I am humbled by your presence, because I am very young. I hope I am the youngest among the eminent personalities available here. And also I thank the Center for Policy Studies for bringing out this wonderful book, and I think Mr. Satish has also written an article on this book. So this compilation is good. Just I was going through, the compilation is very good, sir. So in the first opinion, I really appreciate that the book has come up very well. I request all of you and all the Vizag people also to read this, and more such forums should come in a district like Vizag, because it is a diversified city, and more forum will actually bring more and more ideas also to the public forum. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and sorry for the delay. I could came 5 minutes delay. There was some issue in the administration, sir. I just came delay. Sorry for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raj Garu. You referred to the compilation. There is one article which is an astonishingly forthright article. How noble is the Nobel laureate? It is by one of my former students, former Chief Postmasters General and Chairman of the Postal Board, and it was a very caustic piece. I carried it because it is dissent that is necessary, and then though I said the views are personal. Thank you very much. Sri Ashok Gajpatraj Garu will, next time he will honor our invitation. He will be very gracious to accept our invitation, because we started at 10 and we are closing at 1 minute to 11, sir. As per. And now vote of thanks, 1 minute. Mr. Dosigar Rao, Special Officer, former Visakhapatnam, Andhra University, Postgraduate Center, Kakinada, will propose a vote of thanks. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Every one of you will be given a copy of the work.
On behalf of the Center for Policy Studies and on my own behalf, it is my privilege to propose vote of thanks. At the outset, I convey our thanks of gratitude to Sri P. Ashok Gajpatraj Garu, Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation, Government of India, for his gracious presence.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. To the printer, Mr. M.K. Kumar, a bouquet from the Honorable Chief Guest.
In spite of his busy engagements, he made convenient to come over here and release the book. I also convey our thanks of gratitude to the guests of honor, Vice Admiral Satish Shoni, Flag Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Naval Command, Professor G.S.N. Rajgaru, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Andhra University, the District Collector and Magistrate, Dr. N. Yuvraj, for their gracious presence in this function. I also convey our thanks to Sri A.S.N. Prasad Garu, President, Gayatri Vidya Parishad, Professor
P.V. Sharma, and other members of the Gayatri Vidya Parishad family, and also the supporting staff of the Center for Policy Studies. I also thank our teacher and mentor and for comparing this book. And lastly but not least, I convey our thanks to all the distinguished invitees, audience, and members of the press and electronic media. Thank you, one and all.